Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to Laura and Mike. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Battle Brothers, as we once again resume the adventures of the Retcon Raiders, or at least the Raider Militia that happens to exist in this particular timeline. Now, our plans haven't really changed much since last time. We're still preparing our warband to take on our very first bandit camp. That means today we'll be headed north as we take another pass around the trade loop and hopefully find some better equipment and earn a few extra level ups. After that, we might be able to take on the Reckless Brothers camp. That's the plan anyway. As you know, things might end up changing once we're out in the wild. Oh, 3 dire wolves. Yeah, I think we can handle that. We won't really get much out of it, but it would be nice to collect some pelts. The scent of fresh prey filling their nostrils, the direwolves turn and rush the Raider Militia. Rowan draws first blood, slashing at a wolf with his sword. Fox plunges the tines of his warfork deep into a direwolf's leg. Jeff skips a stone off the wounded direwolf's skull, leaving it dazed and confused. Nod shoves a direwolf off its elevated perch, quickly claiming the high ground as his own. Valinrook lands a glancing blow, not enough to phase the wolf though. We do need to be careful here. These things get 3 attacks around, and we are pretty lightly armored. Stileppo lands a glancing blow, wounding the dazed wolf. Cazador closes out the round, landing another glancing blow with her pitchfork. Valen is savaged by one of the direwolves, his flesh and armor reduced to bloody ruin. On the north, Alois lands a killing blow, knocking the dazed wolf to the ground. Alright, we really need to get this thing off Valen. Rowan lands a glancing hit, but the beast's thick hide absorbs the brunt of the blow. Quintus lands 2 hits in rapid succession. Skelebit lands a solid hit, splitting a direwolf's arm to the bone. Then he follows up with a thunderous shield bash, forcing the beast away from his wounded comrade. Nod leaps forward, landing another drunken blow with his sword. Stalepo moves in, his mere presence enough to break one of the creature's wills. I think we've almost got this, but we're not done just yet. Revenant catches a glancing strike, the direwolf's claws shearing through his thick leather armor. Rowan strikes at the panicked wolf, killing it as it stumbles to the ground. With one foe remaining, the rest of the raiders begin converging on its position. Victory seems assured, but something could still end up going wrong. Nod stumbles in, driving his sword through the last wolf's heart. Alright, not bad. We took a few flesh wounds, but nothing too serious. Stalepo gained a level 2. And we got a single pelt. Not great, but certainly could have been worse. First things first, let's take care of that level up. Oh, nice. Melee, melee defense, and fatigue. That's the trifecta we need. As for his second perk, I think we're going to go with Colossus here. I know it's a bit of a training wheel perk, but I always feel better knowing our guys have at least 75 hit points. Oh, and let's put Valen on the bench as well, at least until he's had a chance to recover. Ah, right. This is a keep, so we'll never find a normal job here. We don't have any injuries to treat. And we don't really have much to spend, but we should pick up some tools while we're here. And on to Hohe now. Let's hope they've got a job for us. Well, they've got a 2-skull, but that might be a bit too much for us. Can't hurt to look. You find Werner the Wise studying a few maps on his desk. He trails a finger to the edge of one map and continues it onto another. I need an escort for a caravan to Gurholm, 2 days north of here. Will it be dangerous? Of course. That's why I go to you, Sellsword. Are you interested? Well, it's not exactly the type of work we were hoping for, but it is a pretty safe contract. The pay's not bad. You know what? We do need to explore the northern settlement sooner or later, so yeah, we'll take it. Shoot, those are pretty good prices, but we're also still pretty low on gold. We'd better hold off for now. Okay, off we go to Gurholm. Looks like that's taking us into House Gota territory. Every man for himself. Sounds like a bunch of charmers. Well, off we go. while marching down the road, you find a man with a broken cart by the side of the path. By the wagon, there is a donkey standing idle, and as defeated as a donkey can look. The trader looks a little better than that, and your appearance seems to have scared him. He rears up, backing away momentarily. "Have you come to take my things? If so, you needn't kill me. Take what you want." "Let us help you get your cart on the road again." The merchant is scared in your presence, but you quickly disarm him of his fears. A few brothers are ordered to get the cart back onto the path. They do it as fast as hardy men can, but when it's over, one of them cries out and doubles over. The trader, eyes wide with renewed horror, quickly offers you some provisions as a token of his gratitude. Maybe he thinks you'll punish him for the injuries. Regardless, the supplies will be a welcome addition for the days to come. Well, that got us some food and medical supplies, but we did end up having to pay for it. Sorry, Rabbit. Actually, that's not really that bad. It might be a fair trade-off for a full stack of bread. Definitely cutting it pretty close on the payroll. I'm glad we didn't end up buying anything. Having reached Gurholm, the caravan's wagons are immediately unloaded and their goods taken to a nearby warehouse. Once it's all cleared out, the leader of the group hands you a satchel of crowns and thanks you for making sure their passage was a safe one. Not bad. Definitely an easy payday. That also gets us out of the danger zone, at least momentarily. Let's see what Gurholm has to offer. Weapon and armor shops, and a kennel. Oh, they've got the new warhounds. Those are stronger, but slower than the normal war dogs. We can't afford any right now, but we'll definitely want to come back here in the future. Good prices on furs. Not that we can actually afford any right now. Well, let's start heading south again. We'll visit a few of these towns, but then we'll get ourselves back on that trade loop. That looks more like a tutorial than a rumor. Alright, let's have a look at those contracts. Alberic the Counselor restlessly walks up and down while stopping now and then to address you. The folks are in turmoil. Graves in the cemetery have been found opened and raided. Some simpleton claims it to be the dead rising from the graves. Superstitious nonsense. It's quite obviously some grave robbers audacious enough to come to Heimstead and plague us with their greedy presence. He bangs his fist on the table in anger. Go out to the cemetery and end this nuisance once and for all. Now this is exactly the sort of work we're looking for. A little gold, a little reputation, and a guaranteed fight. Yeah, we'll take it. it's still nighttime, so might as well take care of it now. Looks like Valen's ready to come back to the front lines, too. The only downside here is, it looks like we're going to have to deal with rocky terrain. That can really end up making or breaking a fight. We've got tracks leading off towards the road here. I'm actually tempted to follow them, but we should probably stay focused. The cemetery is layered in fog. That or a thick miasma given off by the dead. Wait, that is the dead. 2 arms. Well, shoot. I was really hoping we'd run into grave robbers. Let's try falling back onto this ledge here. That should work just fine if we're only up against Wiedergangers. If these guys have a necromancer, though, we'll have to run. The first of the living corpses shambles into view. Looks like they've got armored Wiedergangers too. Those are the guys we'll have to watch out for. Well, the good news is there's no obvious signs of a necromancer. We'll just hold our ground here, draw these guys out into the open. Villagers, miners, militiamen, all buried in the same place, and all reanimated by the same mysterious force. This might actually be a bit of a problem. More of these guys are armed and armored than I'd like. Rabbit bounces a heavy slingstone off a zombie miner's chest. It stumbles, but otherwise shows no signs of even noticing the impact. The rest of the raiders stand firm. They shuffle nervously, gripping their weapons in sweaty hands, but they're fairly confident they should emerge victorious. It's just so tempting to rush these things once they're in range. We do have to maintain the height advantage, though. Alois lands 2 hits in rapid succession. The zombie miner stumbles and falls. The real question is, will it stay that way? Jeff cracks another zombie villager across the side of its head. Meanwhile, the zombie miner stumbles back to its feet, but leaves its rusty pickaxe on the ground where it dropped. With the zombie horde shuffling ever closer, Quintus readies his spear. Alois lands yet another hit on the stumbling zombie miner. Archibald quickly follows suit, and the zombie miner falls one last time. Just 10 more to go. Jeff lands another solid hit. He follows up with another well-placed slingstone, dashing the thing's legs out from under it. And we've got contact. No luck with Quintus's spear. Cazador lands a solid blow, driving the tines of her pitchfork deep between a zombie's ribs. With his target held in place, Skelebit hacks wildly at his target, lopping its head clean off its shoulders. The swords and spears have to be our priority targets. Those weapons gain an accuracy bonus. Jeff lands a glancing hit, deflected by moldering leather. Archibald lands 2 hits in rapid succession. Rabbit lands 2 more hits. Her target's chainmail completely destroyed. Ooh, a zombie militiaman stumbles its way into the raider's line. Quintus continues chipping away at the Wiederganger in front of him. Rowan readies his blade. His target shedding broken chain like rotting scales. Fox lands a solid hit as well, but his target is barely slowed. Nod, incensed by his minor injury, violently hacks the offending Wiederganger to pieces. Valen stuns the zombie militiaman in front of him. The Revenant cracks a zombie in the head with his flail, its helmet exploding in a shower of filth. Cazador impales another zombie. Staleppo pummels another former militiaman to the ground, every blow eliciting the sickening crack of ribs and bone. Two of the fallen Wiedergangers clamber back to their feet. Nod cuts down another zombie villager. Rev quickly follows suit, smashing a zombie militiaman's head. Alois skips a rock off a zombie's helmet, confounding it. Stileppo follows his example, stunning another zombie and quickly pushing past it. Drakiith stuns his target as well. Maybe we can actually get through this with some usable armor. Archibald fells a zombie militiaman. Let's hope it stays down this time. Moving into round 7, we seem to be doing okay so far. There we go. Cazador fells the Wiederganger with the fancy helmet. Jeff finally puts the dazed Wiederganger out of its misery. Oh, Quintus takes a hit. Unfazed, he promptly returns the favor. Alois dazes another zombie militiaman. The rest of the raiders start gravitating north. We don't want to move too quickly here. We could still have some return customers. Rowan hacks down another armored Wiederganger. Fox cuts down a freshly risen corpse. King shreds a Wiederganger's armored coif. Revenant takes another hit, but his armor just barely turns it aside. Quintus finally drops his opponent, then turns his attention to the last corpse standing. Another zombie rises. Fox is on it, immediately pinning it in place. Cazador finishes what Fox started. Then Nod and Rowan violently hack the last of the corpses to pieces. Well, I can't say that was as exciting as I would have liked it to be, but man, that got us a lot of level ups. As for loot, we had to smash most of it to pieces, but at least we got a cleaver and a kettle helm out of it. Okay, back to Heimstad. We'll take care of the bookkeeping once we've collected our pay. Alberic the Counselor is grinning slyly as you return. Nasty business, wasn't it? I've already heard the news. It travels fast in these parts. A shame we had to do it this way, but who knows what you'd have charged otherwise for fighting these things. Hey, you're still getting paid. He gestures to a wooden chest in the corner. 430 crowns are in there, as we agreed upon. Wow, you've got to respect this guy's moxie. Trying to shortchange mercenaries isn't the healthiest pursuit. Not like we can actually do anything about it. Well, all things considered, we probably would have taken the job anyway. We actually did walk away with a decent assortment of weapons. Now, let's see here. Quintus will obviously boost his melee and fatigue. I wish he'd rolled better on melee defense, though. That's what we really need. Oh well, we'll take what we can get. Rowan's up next, and he is actually destined for the back line. That means ranged accuracy and fatigue. Though, unfortunately, both of his defensive rolls were pretty bad. I guess we'll put his third advance into hit points. It's not ideal, but it's certainly better than many of our other options here. Rev's up next. Oh, those are all pretty bad rolls. Well, fatigue's okay. Looks like his ranged accuracy roll was pretty good too. The game's really trying to push us to keep him as a backliner. The problem being, we already have too many backliners as it is. You know what? No, let's stick to our guns here. He's going to be at the mercy of the RNG anyway, so we'll just put points into melee and melee defense and hope he eventually turns into a solid frontliner. Worst case scenario, he'll just die, and that makes room for the next person on the list. Next we've got Sir Skelebit, and we'll boost his melee and fatigue. Unfortunately, once again, it looks like a pretty poor roll for melee defense. I guess we'll boost his range defense for now. We don't want to raise our frontliners' range defense too high, though. It always needs to be lower than our backliners. Then we've got Alois. This looks pretty straightforward. Ranged accuracy, ranged defense. Though that is a pretty bad roll on fatigue. Let's go with melee instead. We will be giving him a polearm eventually. And now we've got Fox, our potential sergeant in training. We'll actually give him Fortified Mind instead of Colossus. It's important to boost that resolve as quickly as possible. That means his advances will go into range defense. Resolve, of course. And I guess fatigue. Yeah, that'll have to do. And that just leaves Cazador. Now, she's probably not going to be our sergeant, but we will build her the same way we're building Fox. Like I said before, morale is going to be one of our biggest problems later in the game. It's important to build up more than one bannerman. Alright, that's it. Let's dole out some of this equipment real quick, and then I think we've reached a good stopping point. Let's toss this cleaver to Quintus. Skelebit's done pretty well with his. That hand axe isn't bad. I do think we're better off with the bludgeons for now, though. Now we just need to juggle headgear. And I think we're done, at least for now. Alright, folks. We obviously didn't accomplish what we set out to do, but I think we still made some decent progress here. We took on a couple of fights, we completed a couple of contracts, and we got a decent number of level ups in the process. Anyway, we'll hit the pause button for now, but we'll pick up here next time, as we head back to the trade loop and hopefully find some bandits to kill. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official Facebook page, the official Twitter feed, the FanRun wiki, or the official store pages on Steam or GOG. Links are in the description.